G'day, it's Jamie, and welcome to Where's My Yowie. Today, I'm reading a subscriber's letter which she's written to me about her 2022 Yowie encounters that she's having on her property near Bundaberg, Queensland. So we'll get into it. Lee writes, "Hi Jamie, I don't know where to begin really. I'm married with one son who's moved away to Sydney now. I'm 50 and I've always been a spiritual person. My husband not so much, but has always respected my ideas and beliefs without judgment. So about a year or a year and a half ago, our greyhound got attacked real bad up the back of our property. We live on 2 acres and there's approximately 100 acres of private bushland behind us with a decent running creek. At the time of the attack, we had other bushland, probably about 200 acres or more, mixed in with mango orchards and cane fields a little further north of us up the road. In 24 years, I've seen about 3 kangaroos nearby, of which only one was a big red one. So, our greyhound went down the back for her usual morning pee and wander about. She came back in the house with blood streaming from her nose, scratch marks down her front, on one hip and on one of the front legs. I couldn't stop the bleeding, and my husband had gone to work. Our dog was breathing funny and obviously stressed. So I rang husband and asked him to come home, of which he did. We proceeded to the vet at first opening hours, as all this happened around 5 or 6 a.m. At first, the vet thought goanna. After 24 hours in the vet, it was found that our dog's nose had been completely shattered, and it was only a huge tooth root that managed to keep her nose staying together, and the vet felt that the scratch marks down her front was from a kangaroo, not goanna. So it was 3 days at the vet and like $1,500 later. At the time I agreed with the vet, but somehow felt like I never see roos at our place or even on our property. All their sleeping spots, which I have seen, are next door, and our land is completely dog-wired on the fence to keep out feral dogs and the like. In saying that, I know how high a kangaroo can jump, and it's possible it was a real attack. But greyhounds are the second fastest animal in the world, second to cheetah. So I now find it difficult to believe a kangaroo could grab my dog, break its nose, etc. In saying that, if it had been a Yowie, then surely the dog would not have survived at all and even just disappeared that morning. So I don't know, but it's food for thought given the last 8 weeks or so that I've had some strange things occur round our place. Okay, so the things that have occurred are, firstly, I got interested in Bigfoot and started YouTubing stuff. Husband laughed at it, but said, "Hey, if you enjoy watching it, then watch it." We both work hard, and who's to say it doesn't exist? Then one day, husband says, "Hey, I'm hearing tree knocks in the morning." He gets up at around 2 a.m. for a 3 a.m. start for his work, and usually has the lounge TV down low to listen whilst having a coffee. He said it firstly as a bit of a joke, then a couple of weeks later said it more seriously. I just said yeah, whatever, because I thought he was just having me on. This was probably 8 to 10 weeks ago, and honestly, I felt there's not enough bushland near us to hold a friggin' Yowie. Thought nothing of it further and just kept doing what I do. For about a year, maybe a year and a half, all new macadamia plantations have been planted around us. Acres and acres of bushland and mango orchards were cleared for them. After they did that, I've seen deer on neighbouring property, as they've all had to literally move to other nearby bushland that still exists because it's private land and untouched. I regularly hear shooting around 10 p.m. on a Sunday night for pig and roo nearby. So there's certainly enough food source and heaps of dams and natural creeks around us and behind us. Question: has a Yowie had to move too? Food for thought. So about 6 weeks ago, I was in bed asleep. I'm a very light sleeper, always have been, and was woken up by our bedroom window shaking. Our bed head backs onto the window. I heard heavy walking past the window one way, and then it came back and passed the other way. Again the window shook as it passed. It was large and heavy and was walking with 2 feet. I immediately grabbed my husband's shoulder, as I thought it was someone casing our house late at night. It was around 1 a.m. At the exact same time, our dog that sleeps on her bed near us in the bedroom moved and knocked the wardrobe door, making it move. So my husband said it's nothing. I just heard the dog moving about. I lay there awake for about another hour thinking, that wasn't the blinking dog moving. Went to work the next morning thinking it was probably me waking up from a dream or something, and dismissed the whole idea of a Yowie being nearby us. But then it happened again 2 weeks later, around 1 a.m. Same thing. Bedroom window shook as it walked past in 2 different directions, and then it walked around the corner of the house, of which I could hear it go past our other window. That's a long, high window. Our air conditioner is in that window, so you can hear things fairly easy enough through it. I again lay there thinking, okay, I can hear that as plain as day. I'm not dreaming. I'm awake this time while it's walking about. Shit, what the hell is that? I was too scared to get up and look. The bedroom window where the cat is how close I heard the footsteps. It shook the window as it walked backwards and towards past the window 3 times. This occurred twice in the space of 2 weeks. No prints are seen here, as the grass and dirt are pretty solid through there. Move on to last week. We've got a macadamia orchard next door to us. It's relatively small, as it's privately owned by someone local. Not a big company owned one like the ones up the road. I've come home from work, open the gate, and see a full macadamia nut shell, without the nut inside, nicely placed in the middle of the driveway. I thought, that's weird. The macadamia trees have been there for over 5 years, and never have I ever seen any kind of nuts or shells on our land. Never. I thought probably a bird. So I threw it over the fence and proceeded to drive to the garage, shutting the gate behind me. The next day, same thing. Drive home, open the gate, and this time, the same shell, only half of it this time, placed in the exact same spot, is there. I stood there and just froze. I was like, okay, it's official. I'm nuts. I'm losing my mind. This is friggin' weird. What the hell? So I think that was Thursday and Friday of last week. So the 28th and 29th of July. Sunday night, which would have been the 31st of July, again, early hours, something again large with 2 feet walked by the window again. But this time it went on the roof. I've heard possum, feral cats, rats and mice on our roof. This wasn't any of those. It was heavy and friggin' large. My husband sleeps like an absolute log, so I didn't hear it. I haven't even told him about it, because he'll think that I'm going la la. Our 2 water tanks are on that same side of the window the air conditioner is, and the pipes join onto the guttering of the house. Possum, feral cats, rats and mice always travel down the pipes to get to the tanks. I hear it a lot. This thing on Sunday night jumped onto the roof at our bedroom corner, travelled down the side of the roof and gone, like it jumped off the other end of the house. I sat up in bed at the time, because this happened earlier in the night, around 11 p.m. I was still awake, as I tend to drift off to sleep around 11:30, 12. I got out of bed, walked down the hall, which is on the same side of the house, and I couldn't hear anything. I went out to the lounge, and the dog was sitting up on the couch, both ears up. She's normally asleep at this time. Greyhounds love their sleep. So Monday, 1st of August, I come home from work. Normal day, nothing odd. Monday night, we go out to our local gemstone club to learn silversmithing. We get there at 7 p.m. and return home around 10 p.m. The car lights are on, obviously. I get out to open the gate, look down and can see the shadow of this footprint thing. I sent you photos of today. It's off to the side a bit where our car tyres don't go, and I've literally tried ignoring it all week. But this morning I thought, what the hell, I'll take a photo and post it to my favourite Facebook group and see what comes back. Like you say, it's hard to tell. It wasn't until I got to work this morning and zoomed in on one photo and thought, is that toe marks? Is that toes? I'll wait to hear back from your thoughts after you've looked into it a bit more. There's only one though, but again, I'm not a tracker. I wouldn't know a track unless it was really deep in mud, sand or grass, which is why I noticed this one thing or whatever it is at our gate. The footprint is 15 inches long, 6.5 inches wide at the ball and 5 inches wide at the heel. The layout of our land is 2 acres of fairly clear land. A large area of privately owned bushland behind us that's owned by a cow farmer up the road, with a creek that runs into a creek further along near North Bundaberg area. The farmer also has a huge dam nearby. My next door neighbour 50 metres away has a small dam and 2 goats, and the macadamia trees next door also have a huge dam down the back. So plenty of water sources for all animal life here. I intend to cast it tomorrow, really just to satisfy myself it's something or nothing. I took more photos for you this morning in better light, as it was overcast yesterday. Some strange stuff in the bamboo hedge, just 20 metres away from the house. The hanging piece is placed inside a bamboo clump. The X symbol I thought was natural, however. I checked it again this morning and both pieces have been placed into the dirt, not a natural fall causing an X. The hieroglyph I saw as I was finishing up, it's interesting as a different piece of wood has been used along with the bamboo. A very high tree break and twist, and it bent round as well. TP structure with placed pieces of bamboo. A place piece on its own with an upside Y side shoots of bamboo. Bottom of TP with placed bamboo into the ground, no roots on the bottom and no other breaks near the ground to say it's a natural occurrence. A twist and a break that I believe has been done to prevent me further going down the back. I walked through there 8 weeks ago to check out how I was going to get rid of the lantana on our fence line. We've had no wind to cause this, and no human ever goes near the bamboo. The bamboo is also still green, so it's recent. Here's my front gate on the left. Found the second print on the right, just behind the white pole. Same width and length as the first one I found. Not good enough for a cast though. It's as if he was just standing there at the front centre fence post. I checked the right gate for any oil marks that might indicate a hand on the gate, but it's completely dry. The second print, you can clearly see the heel and the grass trodden down. This is a nut tree with a fresh break. I took photos of bamboo yesterday morning, and as I decided to go through the gate and see if I could see any other tracks, I found the second print and then continued through the bamboo, and then it got interesting. I went right up the back of the property, and at one point I felt weird all of a sudden, then really uneasy, then nauseous. My cat Minnie had followed me, and she was about 2 metres behind me. I heard a humph noise from the nut trees behind me. It was deep sounding, like it was breathing out its nose. My hair stood up on the back of my neck, and then the cat froze and started meowing this really feral meow. She was really scared, so we turned around and came back to the house. I then went out in the afternoon, and this tree break was done. It wasn't like that in the morning. Then I found 2 more prints that are in hard dirt, so not easy to see. I saw one print. Wasn't until I checked the photo that I saw the pair. But for the life of me this morning, I cannot remember where those 2 prints are and can't find them again as I was going to measure them. Again this morning, I heard something walking heavily about 3 tree rows back. I turned to look and felt sick again. Puss wasn't with me this morning, so I couldn't use her as a gauge as to whether something was there or not, but I sensed something was there watching me. Those tree rows are really dark due to the tree shadows too, so easy enough to hide in there and not be seen. Placed bamboo at the bottom of a teepee. One has root growth on the bottom, but no root growth is in the ground underneath it. It was jammed into the dirt. Anyhow, it's an interesting journey. I feel like it liked the bamboo to play in, as it has an automatic water spray system that comes on at night. Maybe it's cool to play in on a hot night. Thanks for reading. I really hope I haven't wasted your time. I'm not doing this for any sort of acclamation or free stuff. Just want an honest opinion. Knowledge is power, as they say, and if I've got a Yowie nearby, at least I can assemble some sort of strategy around my place to deal with it. I don't want to repeat of my dog getting injured, etc. It also makes me wonder with the gunshots I hear a lot, if a Yowie has again had to move to a safer place to avoid that too. The end. Wow, that's really amazing, Lee. Thanks very much for writing me that letter and sharing your story with it. It's totally awesome. Just with like, you're seeing like sticks jammed to the ground and the X marks and the hieroglyph that you found, like that's like really suspicious that there's a Yowie. But like you've had it walk past your bedroom window a couple of times, and I'm very familiar with that myself, and that is as freaky as, and I totally think you've got a Yowie. And like you also heard it walking in the bush, and it spooked the cat as well. But the 2 lots or 3 lots of footprints you found, you've definitely got a Yowie at your place. And I hope that it doesn't annoy you too much and doesn't scare you too much. And also I hope that your dog's feeling a lot better and the Yowie leaves him alone. That's awesome. Thanks very much for sharing that again, Lee. I can't thank you enough. And I'll be sending you a t-shirt. And if you want to share your story with me, I'll send you a free t-shirt. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks again, Lee. I'll see you all next time. Bye.